So, in the Epstein distraction that everybody in the world saw coming, the United States and Trump launched strikes last night on Venezuela. I believe it was La Carlota military airfield and Fuerte Tayuna military complex to basically suppress reaction, while it looks like Delta Force special operations teams took Maduro and his wife and got them out of the country and have brought them to the United States, where they are expected to stand trial. Trump talked about this on his Truth Social last night. Again, this was expected to distract from the Epstein files, to also potentially gain leverage over oil as well as rare earth minerals in Venezuela. We don't know who's going to replace him yet. There are a couple of military leaders who are high on the list, but I would expect at some point Machado, who's a Nobel Peace Prize winner and lost, or her party lost, the July 2024 election of Maduro, which is highly regarded as sketchy, will be in power, because I think that Trump likes the fact that she said nice things about him and wants her to be in charge, in the hopes that he'll get a lot of benefits from Venezuela, and he'll just threaten the other military leaders with doing the same thing to them as he did to Maduro if they don't step down. So just so you're aware, the Senate comes back Monday and the House of Representatives comes back Tuesday. And one of the big things was the War Powers Resolution Act, which it looked like there might have been enough to get through potentially, and to pass some legislation that would have limited this strike. So, of course, they took advantage of it and went now over the holiday break to do that and to execute this plan before they could be preemptively stopped by new legislation. And again, because they're coming back in session, the Epstein files will be front and center. And he's hoping, as he always does, that he can generate enough attention away from that, where people don't care about it enough or won't talk about it. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's still going to be front and center. I think the fact that he just took a president from a country, not a good president, he's an asshole, Maduro's an asshole, but removed him from the country, is going to last about a couple days before it kind of fades and Epstein takes over again. So, but there's potential access to rare earth minerals, there's potential access to oil for the Republican Party and Trump, as well as just kind of reshifting the Western Hemisphere. Another thing to think about is Venezuela is a close ally of Putin. Putin has said all the right things about, like, hey, don't do that, don't do that. But there's a high likelihood that this may be kind of an exchange of Trump getting Venezuela in exchange for him putting more pressure on Zelensky to sign a deal that is beneficial to Putin in Ukraine and Russia, that situation. So there may be it's all transactional. It's always all transactional with Trump. So you may see that. You may see a lot more pressure from Trump now on Zelensky, now that he's done this, to sign the deal, which will be beneficial to Putin and give him territory that he didn't have, that he has kept from his invasion. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Other things to think about with this is the number of Western European citizens that are still in Venezuela. I think there's about 500 from the UK. UK didn't have anything to do with this. No intelligence sharing, no logisticals, operational, and Starmer already came out and said that. But there are 500 citizens on the ground, as well as a number of other Western European citizens on the ground, who, depending on, we'll see what the response is from Venezuela and the current party, Maduro's party, and what they'll do with that. So, yeah, we put a shit ton of people, in harm's way. Trump don't care. GOP don't care. We put a bunch of military in harm's way. Trump don't care. GOP don't care. So please be aware of that. There are ways to shuffle the cards in the international world. This was about the dumbest, most haphazard way to do that. And it was all because he didn't want you talking about the Epstein files. So talk about the files. But yeah, more details to follow. But Maduro's gone. Trump, the GOP, the U.S. has taken him and brought him to the United States to await trial. And there will be more details coming out in the future. Thanks.